Well, you know what? You can have the best business idea, but if you don't have a brand that people will recognize and remember, it can be challenging to succeed. I'm joined by Christopher Shaw from Final Flash Productions. Hi, Christopher.
Peace, Mr. Trees. How you doing?
I am good. I'm glad you're here. So talk about that, because a lot of times now, more important than ever, in so many things I do, people say branding is everything.
So my interpretation of brand is the story that your clientele says about you when you're not in the room, right? Most of us know what Nike is, but we don't know who Phil Knight is, the owner. And the brand of Nike is based upon the stories that are told about it. We know Michael Jordan, he wore Nikes, LeBron James wears Nike. And so whenever you can build your brand based on what you believe in and where you show up in the community, that's what really sets you apart. It's not always just a logo or a slogan.
All right, so let's jump right into this, talking about this branding. And let's put up some of the shots and the pictures of companies that you have worked with as far as branding, and then tell us about what you did with these companies. So we're gonna put those up, but just go ahead and start talking about maybe some of the companies in this area that we're familiar. Okay, let's start with that one right there.
Okay, so that was for Kiwanis International, and they are a children's-based nonprofit. And what they needed was someone to advertise and put out promotional content for their yearly golf tournament for kids. And the main thing that we wanted to do was not only showcase the success they've had over the years, but also showcase the fun aspect of it. You know, you don't want to just have a talking head video, but you actually want to have someone actually on the field golfing. It seems inviting, so there's parts of the story that's being told there.
I like that what you said, because you were like, you just don't want that talking head, but you have to be able to tell that story through pictures as well, so people are drawn in. And I think that's one of the things. And then you're talking about like what they, you know, how much they've made, and just kind of some of the beautiful scenery that draws people in. That's so important, because people come to you a lot of times, I'm sure, with an idea, having, you know, saying, this is what I want to do, but I don't know how I'm going to get there. So this is where I am right now starting, but this is where I want to go.
Right, right. And yeah, I mean, I get that all the time. A lot of times clients will come to me and they say they want a video or they want photos, but they're not sure what that even looks like. And that's honestly one of my favorite parts, because I'm able to figure out, okay, well, what is your brand? You know, if your brand is a uplifting brand, and you don't want dark, moody type of lighting, right? So understanding and having a conversation. I always have consultation calls. I call them my discover calls. And we sit down and we're able to discuss what your brand messaging is, who you want to talk to, and how far do you actually want to take this message out. And that really breaks down, okay, well, this is what you want. And then as we have that conversation, I can check back in with you and be like, okay, well, is this where we're going with it? And if we're both on the same accord, we can get started.
And so that's so important. One of the things, too, in you talking about that, Christopher, is that, like, you know, the Asante, the chocolate company, and the different brand. I remember I had never really heard of that brand. Then it was just like I saw that and saw some of the things that were out there, and like you said, the images, the messages, and now just whether it's that, like you said, or the Kiwanis Business Club, is it, you know, I guess you can do things on like a small scale to a larger scale. If someone's just getting started and they're like, you know, I really don't have a lot right now, but I want to start small to try to establish and build my brand.
Yeah, I mean, the beautiful thing about it right now is that social media is the platform if you want to advertise, right? And you can build brand on there. You can build that story of who you are as an individual. One of my philosophies on brand is your brand is you. So before you kind of get into what the company is, let's figure out who you are. And so that goes all the way from something as simple as a headshot. Your headshot is your first impression, and how you look and how serious you take your brand. And when people come in, they be able to see that. Now we can scale and see, okay, well, who are you in these different environments? requirements? How do you show up for your clientele? Only you can tell that story properly, and then I can come in and kind of help you with that.
Okay, that is so important because you're right. Some people don't know that that's first image, and some people you want to put a party shot on there that depending on what if it's about business,
it might not fit.
It may not fit the image. So
Right,
important.
right.
All right, let's put the information we're going to put on there how people can get in touch with you. And here we go, Final Flash Productions, and that is their website. If you're interested, and you can go to his website, look at some of his work, and you're thinking about building your brand, give Christopher a call and he can help you out. Christopher, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And before we go,
Okay.
I do want to give you a gift. I just released my first coloring book. It's called The Adventures of Ashe. Ashe is a word from the Arabic language meaning life. So it's Adventures of Life. It's all about for little black boys and brown boys to be able to see themselves in anime-themed characters. So I wanted to gift that to you today.
All righty. Well, Christopher, thank you so very
Absolutely.
much. I told you I love that just right there. Thank you so very much.